Ron Scandina lived the life of a free spirit. He loved his Harley, exotic vacations, and mostly women.
Basically, the world had taught me it was okay to do all that, get everything that you can from life, whether it was money, women, drugs, cars, motorcycles.
As he traveled on business, Ron had relationships with numerous women.
Now, I was dating this person in San Diego, this person in New York, or whatever the case may be. While I was on this business trip, I was in Jamaica, or, on this fishing trip down in Cabo, I was actually with a friend, or, dating other women.
But Ron was a married man. His selfish behavior started just a few years into their marriage. His wife, Kim, was totally in the dark about her cheating husband.
I would actually have other people, friends, say to me, how can you trust him to go on vacation with his, guy friends? And how can you trust him to go, to these events, without you, go to New York or whatever? And I would defend him and I'd say, I trust Ron 110%.
As long as you came home and maintained, took care of the mortgage and you were married and you were there for your kid, you could go away for a couple nights here or there, a weekend, and get what you wanted, basically.
When Ron married Kim, he was a single dad with a wild past. He thought marriage would settle him down. He was wrong.
I wanted more stability in my life, and I wanted a partner that I could just love and honor and be with and be committed to. Unfortunately, I wasn't prepared to do that.
I assumed that his values and his beliefs were the same as mine, and that was, if you make a commitment to somebody, that you honor that commitment.
Eventually, Ron wanted to walk away from Kim and live life the way he wanted.
So he calls me and says he wants to have dinner. And I'm like, why do you want to go have dinner? Well, I want to talk. Why do you want to talk? Well, I don't want to be married anymore.
After 8 years of marriage, Ron moved out of the house.
I couldn't comprehend how you could go one day from having a family and being a family to being in this empty house all by yourself.
Her stepson had become a Christian, and in his concern, reached out to Kim.
I remember my son saying in such a sweet way, I wanted to share some things with you. I know you're going through a lot. I have some scriptures that I believe, God has for you.
He took her to church one Sunday.
The lesson was about marriage that day, and it struck home for me, and I felt like what the pastor was talking about was just for me. I thought, you know what? I want to give my life to the Lord, and I want to follow Jesus. I want to be a disciple.
She eventually started sharing the changes in her life with Ron.
Kim started coming to me and apologizing for not being the wife that she should have been. And I was going, wow. And she still didn't know all the secrets. And asked me to forgive her. And that was hard.
I had that joy and I had that love for him, even though he had hurt me so badly and I had been so crushed. I was still concerned about him.
He saw the obvious change in Kim and was curious about Jesus. Ron wanted to speak to her pastor.
I asked him, I said, is there any hope for me? He said, yeah, there's hope. So I said, I want you to do two things. I want you to study the Bible with me for 30 days. And I want you to give up the girlfriend.
Ron agreed to attend a Bible study with the pastor, but he kept his girlfriend. But on September 11th of 2001, he got a wake-up call.
I saw that second tower come down. I go, what am I waiting for? I was supposed to be in New York a week later. I could have been in that tower. I could have been there at that point in time. I don't know that I have another minute. What am I waiting for? I was convicted that, you know what, no, I want to give my life to Jesus now.
Ron accepted Christ and wanted to reconcile with Kim, but he had to come clean about the life that he lived.
I felt like a fool. I felt like, just devastated. The person that I loved the most in the world basically didn't love me the same way.
Despite her pain, she decided to forgive Ron.
Did I have grounds to divorce him? Absolutely. Did I still love him? Absolutely.
When you think about that kind of heart that can forgive, it's powerful.
Ron learned to love Kim again. He found that she was what he needed all along.
I already had everything that anybody could want with this loyal, loving partner, but I didn't get it. I didn't get it until I got saved, until I received Jesus.
I could tell that he was genuinely sorry, and I was going to forgive him, and I was going to move on, and I was going to try to have a new relationship with him, new marriage. Forgiveness has to be a decision, because if you have it as an emotion, it's going to change on a daily basis. And if you choose to forgive somebody, you need to make that decision, and you can't be unwavering in that.
I didn't get the wholeness that I needed to really love her until I understood what had happened in my life and how the only thing that could heal it is Jesus. His love, His forgiveness, and me being whole, because only whole people can love people wholly.